And over to you, Nathalie.
Thanks a lot, Larissa. Would you please share the pool first? We have 2 short questions for the audience.
Sure. Let me start with our poll for today. To all the participants, you can see poll on your screen, so feel free to answer the questions to your best knowledge. So Nathalie can look at the results of this poll and then take us through the presentation, reflecting the results.
Should I start, Larissa?
I think we allow few more seconds. In our poll, we have 2 questions, very simple one, and maybe 10 more seconds, and then we can also start. So probably now you can take it over.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, as Larissa said, my name is Nathalie Pardini. Welcome everyone from my side to our session on functional usage in SAP for me. My colleague, Sina Fellhauer, will guide you through the functional usage content in the tool. But before that, I would like to introduce the data-driven insights we offer to our customers. At SAP, we systematically collect adoption and experience data to improve the usage and outcomes of our cloud software products. These actionable insights are also shared with our customers via SAP for me. We offer a transparent view into how organizations are utilizing their purchase solutions to maximize their return on investment. Different personas or user roles may be interested in various data sets. However, it is most effective to consider adoption experience data holistically as all elements are interconnected. It starts on the left of the slide with license consumption. License managers will gain valuable information regarding contractual entitlements and answer questions such as how many licenses have we purchased, how many have we activated, do we see an underconsumption or an overconsumption? And for further details, as Larissa mentioned, please refer to our license consumption session from July 15th, accessible on YouTube. After license activation, the product becomes available for user access. Thanks to the functional usage data, the business managers benefit from understanding how end users interact with the products, including which capabilities are being utilized and to what extent. Also, the functional usage data supports business managers in making future buying decisions. This content will be described in more detail during this session. While working with the product, users build an opinion and might give feedback. Qualitative feedback on user satisfaction is available through our product experience insights. And for further information, please join us for our dedicated product experience session on July 29th. This is how the adoption journey looks like in SAP for me. It answers critical questions such as how much commercial entitlement do we have and how much has been used? Then how much of the product functionality are we actually using? That's the functional usage. And are users satisfied with using the solution? That's the product experience. Regarding functional usage, the info is located in the product area for individual products, but also in the reporting section, which is providing a view of all purchased products. S/4HANA Public Cloud was the first product to display usage data in SAP for me, but we are of course, extending this data across all cloud products, both public and private. We will focus today on solution capabilities, which are already available for most public cloud products in SAP for Me. They represent the functional abilities of a software product, such as marketing lead management in the marketing cloud product, but that's only one example. Now we will deep dive a little bit more into functional usage. Why is it important to leverage the functional usage data available in SAP for Me? When you purchase SAP products, you want to achieve the business goals that support your company's strategy. You want to enable your end users to perform tasks toward these business goals. The functional usage data helps customers evaluate how effectively their purchase solutions support the intended business goals or objectives. It helps answer critical questions such as, am I deriving maximum value out of the software? Am I leveraging its full potential? By analyzing this data, you gain deep insights into how your software is actually being used. It helps identify the untapped potential of the software, what unused or underused functionalities could further optimize my operations and increase efficiency. Do my end users need training to start using these new functionalities? Functional usage data allows you to make informed and data-driven decisions that align with real usage patterns rather than assumptions. It leads to better outcomes and strategic alignment. It helps you maximize the return on investment from your licensed software, ensuring you get the most value and avoid unnecessary cost. Functional usage is a powerful tool that can transform how your company operates and grows. You just need to unlock it. What is functional usage in the public cloud? What will you find in SAP for Me to help you understand how much of the products you purchased is really utilized? Sina will show you how the content looks like, but basically you will find the list and description of all the functionalities or solution capabilities included in your purchased products. You will learn what was used and not used over a period of 12 months, but you also will be able to benchmark your usage intensity with your industry peers. Looking at this data will help you understand what additional functionalities you might want to leverage in order to improve your business processes and increase your return on investment. I can only encourage you to leverage the functional usage data. And with that, I hand over to my colleague, Sina. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you very much, Nathalie. Okay. I'm taking over the screen sharing. All right. Are you able to see my screen, Nathalie? Larissa, can you confirm?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so I will pick up where Nathalie ended, explaining what exactly we show in terms of functional usage data in SAP for Me. And before I go into the details here, I just wanted to make a quick pit stop because also based on the poll, we had a couple of users, a couple of listeners that said, hey, I've never used SAP for Me before. Maybe I don't even know what SAP for Me is. So just a very quick summary. SAP for Me is your one digital portal that allows you to interact with SAP all kinds of tasks. So it is basically, we always call it your digital companion in your collaboration with SAP, and it offers you insights into various SAP topics. On the left side here, you can see a list of the different dashboards, the finance and legal dashboard, where you see all of the commercial data, including from the session last week, the consumption data. You see the products and portfolio, where I will do a deep dive into the functional usage in a moment. Service and support, which I think is the most used use case, and which a lot of you probably are familiar, where you work on all of your support cases. System and provisioning, where you can provision dashboards. We also have a partner dashboard available for partners. And then we have some cross capabilities like a reporting layer that I will also touch in my presentation. We have contacts where you can manage the contracts within SAP to have an overview, but also the contacts on your side, and a calendar overview where the maintenance events are being displayed. We're currently, so we're striving to always improve SAP for me as a portal to meet your needs as customers. And our vision is really to enable you to be able to use the tool in a most intuitive and streamlined way based on your tasks and responsibilities. So we're constantly working on improving the tool, and you will constantly find new features being added here. And yeah, the topic that I want to deep dive is what Nathalie just mentioned, is the functional usage data. And I want to start with exactly what I mentioned, the reporting layer. So we have a section in SAP for me that is called reporting, and it offers you a number of different sections and areas of interest where you can do analytics and data analysis. And I want to focus here on this tab, what is called cloud functional usage. And as Nathalie mentioned before, the topic of functional usage really covers the information about which product functionalities are you using from a business perspective and which you might not yet be using. And the reporting kind of overlayer that SAP for me has offers really a nice introduction into this topic by displaying across your entire SAP portfolio that you have a glance at the footprint of the functional usage that you have. So looking here at the left chart, you see the gray bar chart. The gray part is representing the solution capabilities, the functional bundles that you have within your products that are unused at the moment. So for example, here, the screenshot is from November last year, and this is the representation of the data for this specific month. And then you can also go back and look at previous months. The green represents then in turn the number of solution capabilities that you're already using. And then the orange line is what we call the functional footprint. So the number of the percentage of solution capabilities that you have in use. On the right side here, you see basically the same data, but broken down into the different solution areas. So you see here application development, business networks, commerce. So really broken down one level deeper than just overall across all the products that you have. And what is really nice about this dashboard is you can click every single part of these charts. So for example, you could say, hey, here in commerce, there are 2 solution capabilities unused. You can click on the gray part here. Unfortunately, in the screenshot, obviously I cannot, but you can click on this gray part and the entire dashboard that you see will filter to exactly those 2 unused solution capabilities. And then in the table below, this is where you find the details. So this is basically a data table that shows you solution capability, the name of the capability, including a link to the description, the solution capability description, with some more information, what it does, what you can use it for, and also the value drivers that are behind it. Oh, apologies. Not sure how that happened. You can see the usage status, that is for the past month, whether this solution capability was either used or non-used, unused. Then you see the usage intensity for the kind of as of now footprint that is broken down in high, moderate, and low. And obviously, when you see here NA, that is when you're not using, there's obviously no intensity assigned. And this usage intensity is in comparison to your industry peers. So for example, here for business planning, the first you see here, the example customer that is on the screenshot has a high usage intensity compared to other industry peers. Further to the right of the table is here the logical product, the product that each of those solution capabilities is assigned to. And here you could also, for example, click on this product and really deep dive into the product and see the historical trend over the last couple of months for this product specifically. I will go into this in just a second, but staying one more moment with the reporting dashboard, you see here what the sub-tab usage history, which is what I just explained. And then you see here the business value. So I'm just going to add the explanations here of what you can see. And then I'm going to jump in the business value. And this is pretty new. We only added this in the last couple of months. And this takes the whole thing one level deeper, really offering those business insights that are so critical for you from a business perspective. First of all, we display the assigned value drivers. So there are different value drivers assigned to each solution capability and the other way around. Each value driver is assigned to certain solution capabilities which help achieve that value. And what we display here is how many of those solution capabilities per value driver have been achieved or used and non-used. What you can see here up is a filter called value driver. So you can really filter down for one specific value driver to display exactly, for example, let's say you want to look into reduce HR costs. You can go into this filter, filter down to the one value driver, reduce HR costs, and it shows you the solution capabilities that are mapped here, and it tells you whether you're already using them as a company or you're not yet using them. And then you can go from there to discuss this further. The next couple of charts are quite as interesting, I would say. This is again the usage intensity, but what I explained before, but mapped as a visual chart. You see here again the breakdown into the solution areas that you have seen before. And you can see here per solution area, how is the usage intensity distributed across. Again, the gray is you're not using at all. The red is your low intensity compared to industry peers, orange is moderate, and then green is high. On the very right, this is again a little bit of a different angle, and this shows you same breakdown again, solution areas. How many of my industry peers are using these solution capabilities? So independent of whether you're using or not, we call this the industry footprint. And is a low number of industry peers using, is a moderate number of industry peers using, or is a high number of industry peers using? And some use case that I could imagine that would offer you some insight is, for example, filtering down to, if you're looking into commerce, again, let's stick with this example, you click on the 5 solution capabilities that are used by a high number of peer companies. And then you can click on this 5, and then exactly it outlines you the solution capabilities, which those are, and it shows you, are you using them? Are you using them with a high, moderate, or high intensity? So I think that is a very nice use case where you can really dig into how am I set up, and then maybe compare it to value drivers and really dig into what else is there that the product that I already licensed can do for me. Again, I have some examples here, some explanations here. I guess I need to be better in actually showing them. Yeah, as I mentioned before, here you can filter down to value driver, but maybe important to note, you can also filter down to the product itself. So if you're only interested in looking one single product, then you can also filter down to that product from the start. But really looking into a product, and I want to now jump into what we call the different SAP dashboards that I've mentioned before. The product usage data, the functional usage data is located in your product and portfolio dashboard. And here you see an overview, you see my product portfolio. So basically this dashboard really offers you a deep dive into what products do I as a customer have across all the entire SAP portfolio. It shows you cloud products, it also shows you some on-premise products, and important to note, the usage data that I've been talking about is currently available for public cloud solutions. And yeah, just to mention this, my product portfolio tab really offers you an overview of what products that I have. What is interesting here in this context is really this product usage tab. And when you open this here, you see here a list. This customer, for example, has 23 products that offer these insights of the functional usage. You see a list of these products, and then you see here, and now I'm actually using my animations. You see here, first of all, a number of solution capabilities. So for example, for Analytics Cloud Business Intelligence, this customer is using 10 of 12 solution capabilities. And that means a functional footprint of 83%, meaning that he uses 83% of the offered solution capabilities. And then later on, you can click into each of those products to deep dive. So yeah, if you're interested, so reporting, I would always recommend if you want to get a broad overview, understand kind of as a first step into this data pool, understand where am I? Is there maybe areas for action? And then if you really want to dig into one of the products and really kind of get into the nitty-gritty details, I would recommend to really then go here and look into the individual products. And then when you, for example, click on Commerce Cloud, and then you will jump into the individual product dashboards. And similar to before, you see here a historic trend over the past, I think, 12 months, where you see the number of used and unused solution capabilities with, again, the orange line of the functional footprint. And this really is now filtered down to one specific product, not like before across the entire portfolio, but really filtered down to an individual product. On the bottom, you also have seen this before. So the setup is very similar. A list of the solution capabilities that this product offers, the information of the last month usage, used or unused usage status last 6 months and the last 12 months. And then again, what we have seen in the dashboards before, the intensity and the customer footprint of this individual solution capability. This is kind of the card here on the bottom is kind of a preview. When you, again, my animations, when you click here on this little show all button, a full page application will open. And here you can really filter by value drivers that I've mentioned before. You can filter by intensity. You have a couple of more filtering options and can see the full list and really dig into this individual product here. I have seen in the poll before, we have seen that there were, I'm not sure why it keeps doing that. That we have seen before that there were a few Grow customers. So I just want to mention it here that for the product of S/4HANA Public Cloud specifically, this was our front runner for this topic of functional usage. That's why the dashboard here looks just slightly different than the other ones. So you can see here, we have a slightly different UI. The first card offers you the active users per month. So this gives you the information, how many active users you have versus how many valid users you have set up in the system. The second card here gives you the information on the most used applications within S/4HANA Public Cloud. And then what Nathalie has mentioned before, where for the other products, we're showing solution capabilities. Here, we're currently showing features, which is a little bit more granular, and typically the number is higher. And here we have piloted for S/4HANA specifically this list of what we call features here. What is really interesting to note for any S/4HANA Public Cloud customer is what we call a DDA. Initially in the sales cycle, you're likely to do a digital discovery assessment. And you together with your account manager, you really dig into which functionalities do I want to see in my future product. And then you can filter down here to either selected initially in the DDA or not selected. And then you can do a retrospective analysis of, for example, for all of the selected features, am I using them, yes or no? And that can really be quite enlightening, I would say, retrospectively, to see initially I wanted to have this feature. Am I using it? And maybe if not, dig into what can I do? And why, for example, am I not using it even though I initially wanted to? All right, so much to the different dashboards and functionalities in SAP for me. I know it is quite a lot to process just from a couple of minutes presentation here. So I would definitely encourage to go into your own system. So I'm sorry I have not been able to look at the chat, but I would definitely encourage you to look into your systems, play around with this data. And then we also have here a list of a couple of information material where you can find more info. So here's a whole blog about SAP for me in general, how to get access to SAP for me, a quick introduction video. Generally on YouTube, there is also a playlist around different functionalities that SAP for me offers and what value you can gain from it. There is known knowledge base articles where we list possible known issues that might be occurring right now. We are also doing a quarterly webcast series on SAP for me, where we once a quarter talk about the new features, the innovations that we have released as part of the continuous improvement process, and where we talk about the highlights that we release and would like you as customers to know. We offered a session in English and in German, as said, once a quarter, and here is the list where you can also sign up for these. And then there have been also a couple of different blog posts that we have released explaining this whole topic of functional usage data. In the background in SAP for me, you can also find always the help documentation when you click on the Get Assistance button. And then, as mentioned before, we also have some upcoming knowledge for you sessions where we explain the third pillar of the adoption insights, the experience data, which is very closely linked, I would say, to this topic here. And in general, I would always recommend, if you really encounter an issue within SAP for me, we have a dedicated support team who is looking into those tickets and really supporting you in solving your problem. And then before I come to a close, one more topic, and this is related to how you can actually influence SAP for me. We have what we call SAP, the SAP Influence Platform. This is available, you might know this from other products. So we have this available also for example, S4HANA and Ariba and other products as well, but also for SAP for me. There's a dedicated campaign for SAP for me where you can raise your own ideas. If you have ideas for new features or you say, hey, this would be really cool if this exists. You can post this here, and then you can also see here all requests. Currently, there's a list of the previous requests from other customers, and you actually can go in and vote on the other ideas of customers, telling us as the product management of SAP for me, hey, this is a great idea that the other customer had. I would really like to see this, and this really helps us in prioritizing the different feature requests and defining and shaping our future roadmap. All right, I think I've talked quite a lot. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we're absolutely happy to take your questions.
All right, thank you, Nathalie. Thank you, Sina. We have a couple of questions in Q&A tool and one question in the chat. And I suggest we start probably from the chat and then move on to Q&A tool. The first question is, should product usage cover S4HANA on hybrid enterprise private cloud managed by enterprise cloud services?
So long term, I would definitely say yes. At this point, we only offer it for public cloud, but the goal is definitely to also offer it for private cloud. But unfortunately, there is no timeline I can share. I can just say our teams are working on it, and our aim is definitely to make this available for private cloud as well.
All right, and now we move in Q&A tool and would like to stay there as we will be going through all the questions. The first one is, how does SAP ensure that the data within the CCOE of individual brands is protected? Large globally active groups have many problems with the current authorization system.
Yeah, so generally the data is only shared with the S user that is being logged in. So you cannot access SAP for me without having your own S user to enter the system. There is also a project running currently that is called Identity Renovation. There were also in the past some info sessions on this, which also I think can be found on the SAP community YouTube channel. I think there was earlier this year, there was an info session, a kickoff around this topic, explaining what we're doing in terms of improving our identity and authorization concepts. Yeah, maybe I would recommend to check this out and see if this helps.
All right, I will definitely find the link to this session and will post it in a moment. And the next question, is there an enablement for partners also to mention, for example, the ones who need to move on-prem to cloud customers?
I think there is a lot of enablement being done for customers, for partners. So this session was dedicated for customers because we focused on the direct customer part within SAP for me. To be honest, I'm not too familiar with the partner offerings. I'm not sure, Larissa, if there is anything out of your organization done specifically for partners. I think, yeah, I'm not sure.
I think Sarah knows me, and if she can send me a short email, we can take it offline.
Thank you.
All right, the next question is, hi, not sure if this was mentioned, but is CCC functionality enabled with this functionality reporting?
I believe so. I think it's rolled up to the global ultimate. It can also be, once you enter this usage tab, that the company where this data is coming from is listed above in the header display. In the reporting, you can also, there is a filter above the entire dashboard, basically, where you can select which customer you are looking into. So for example, if you have a CCC setup, you should be able to access the reporting and select, for example, also sub-customer subsidiaries. Nathalie, I'm not sure if you have further information here.
No, that's the same, would say the same.
All right, the next one. What is SAP doing to improve the performance of SAP for me? The customer is often unable to use the functions because the performance does not allow it. The employees seem to have realized this as well. Otherwise, we could have had a live demo today.
Thank you for the question. And regarding a live demo, actually the performance is not the issue, but for the other topics, we typically have mock-up data kind of mock data for a demo customer. For the functional usage, unfortunately, we do not have mock-up data. So that's why I created screenshots where I kind of manually typed in all of the information. And that is the main reason we didn't do a live demo. We are aware of the performance issues. This is a known topic, and this is being worked on with high priority. We also have realized that there were some authorization issues. The dev team and the foundation team is aware that this is happening. And for those type of questions, I would always recommend to join the SAP webcast that I have mentioned before, because in this session, we wanted to specifically focus on the business impact of functional usage. And for general sub-for-me topics like performance, I would always recommend the quarterly webcasts.
And we are also working on having data that we can show in the system for usage. So we know it's a problem.
But good to know that performance was a at least not the issue for our webcast today. So the next question, could you give more details how the SAP for me function find compliance documents in the tab overview of the menu portfolio and products is working really? Which compliance documents are available here? Will those documents be available in SAP Trust Center also in the future?
To be honest, to be quite frank, I have not been involved in this functionality and I cannot comment on this functionality. I'm not sure, maybe this is a topic for a future session, the whole compliance. I know it's top of mind for customers, but I cannot comment here.
Maybe to this question, I currently work with the My Trust Center, SAP Trust Center team to plan further webcasts. So to those who have addressed this question, if you can drop me an email with these specifics that you would like to see, I will incorporate it in the planning of the webcast with the team. Would be great. So the next question, in regards to the ADD S/4HANA public cloud product question, does SAP also offer an industry peer reporting?
So within the reporting section that I've shown before, S/4HANA Public Cloud should also be included. So you can do here the value drill down and the drill down in the industries as well. We are working on bringing some of the functionality into also the S/4HANA usage tab. But yeah, so yes, within the reporting you can look into this, and I assume this is meant with DDA. Currently, I don't think for the DDA specifically we have industry peer information.
All right, thank you for that. And from the same author, just a comment, really a great session, great explained and crisp slides. So, and not acknowledgement for our speakers.
Great, thank you for the comment.
So the next question is long one. So if you can also look at it in parallel, it's from Bart and it says invoices from SAP have to be sent to our company via digital ways such as Ariba. But as a license manager, I need detailed information sometimes on these invoices, which is not shown in the standard billing tab. It's only possible to download an EXML, which is useful for me. Isn't it possible to provide a PDF download or a view on the invoice details by clicking on the invoice number?
So yeah, out of the SAP product management team, my colleague is working on finance and legal topics, and I know that he currently is also looking into the billing tab. So two options I see here, because I'm not working proactively on the invoices. Either this could be a prime example of doing an influence request that I have mentioned before. So you could look whether maybe another customer has already raised this and you raised this here, or I can also offer, drop me an email and I connect you to the right person.
I think the second option is a good one. So probably, Bart, you can then contact Sina directly to follow up on your request. So the next question, can I see the list of SAP BTP enablement entitlement? We are entitled with the Grow with SAP package and other enablement which can be acquired by additional payment.
So the whole topic of suite experience and bringing this into SAP for me is naturally top of our mind at the moment when you talk about Grow and the package that we offer. So this is kind of, yeah, top of our mind at the moment. In general, each of the product detail pages also contains a learning tab where you see different learning materials and learning journeys outlined that might fit to this product. But specifically for the suite packages, yeah, we're working on improving that view.
All right. So the next one is, as far as I know, the find compliance document is no CCC enabled, but only based on underlying customer number of this S user. I have raised influence request for this. Please vote it. Okay, then I put, first of all, thank you very much, Miriam, for this. And I'm gonna add it to the chat so all the participants of today's session can vote.
And maybe just to comment here, because I think this is a great example of those raising the influence requests, and then also using your network of spreading the word and encouraging others who might be interested in the same topic to vote on it, because that's really how we see that the interest is there. And I also realize that it might be hard for customers to really proactively look through the lists and see what else is out there. So using your network, using those kind of sessions to encourage others, hey, please look into this topic and vote if it's important for you. I think this is a really good practice. Thank you.
Exactly. This would be also my comment on this. This is a great opportunity by tuning in our sessions and joining live. It's a unique opportunity to exchange not only with the experts, but also among themselves. So for you, again, please check in the chat the request that was already raised, and it's about compliance document. Yes, let me, and thanks you, Miriam, for this. So I saw one more question in the chat. So what are the next steps? What should we do with this information? Shall we use it to talk to our AM? Can we use this information considering that we need to use a S user from a customer to give insights to AM customers, etc.? It is not SAP for me a tool for the It is not SAP for me a tool for the customers.
I'm not sure I entirely understand the question. So is SAP for me not a tool for the customers? Yes, absolutely. SAP for me is definitely a tool for US customers. I see there is an I number, so I'm not sure if this is an SAP employee raising the question.
Yeah, I assume so too, and I would recommend to contact us directly on this because we can take the discussion offline and decide on the next steps.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so it seems that we have answered all the questions that we had in Q&A tool. And in the chat to all the participants, now is the chance. Our experts are available. Leverage this opportunity, and you can even decide to raise your hand. And we have one raised hand. No, we don't have any raised hand anymore. Because in this case, I can then let you speak. If not, again, first of all, thank you, Nathalie, and thank you, Sina, for these insights. I was also following the links that were, or the topics that were mentioned in this session. I added various links in the chat, especially for the license consumption session that took place last week, and to the product experience session that will take place next week. And of course, the link to the identity renovation session that is also available on our SAP Community YouTube channel. So we can see a lot of clapping hands and thumbs up. So thank you very much for this feedback. To those whom we would like to follow up, please contact us as already indicated. With this, I assume we are almost finished. One more question. There is a recommendation for BART, which is fantastic. Try to search for your customer in the customer search. It should then work. Yes, I think this might help. It's more recommendation. It's not a question, it's a recommendation, but also great if we are able to use this platform. So let me add this to the question from Bart. All right. All right. So again, I think we are done for today. Also, thank you to our audience for being with us, for being so active. And stay tuned. Next week, we will have a session on product experience. I've already had a link in the chat. And if you are registered to our Move to Cloud ERP webcast, you will receive an email from me, a reminder about this session next week. With this, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And bye-bye.